Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to talk about the double front to back rocket with both kettlebells and clubs. So the double rocket is the original version of the rocket that I learned. We are going to do this with clubs and kettlebells. This is like a swing with no extension phase at the top. It is just load, 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 load. It is hamstring, quad, hamstring, quad, hamstring, quad. There is no way out of this exercise. Even with light clubs, 15-pound clubs for men, most men that will thrash pretty hardcore. And for the ladies, double tens is what people used to train with all the time, and that is plenty of load if you put it as time under tension. You can set it up for anywhere from 30-second sets to 4-minute sets. So as usual, we would like to point our feet straight ahead, no turnout of any type. We're gonna have two hands on our clubs. We're gonna point our thumbs down. We're gonna roll our thumbs up. We have our tractionary ice cream cone grip applied to the clubs. We are going to bounce, bounce. So this is a little bit easier to learn with clubs because you can touch, 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 touch. And now take the actual touch out of it and just act like you're going to touch, but don't actually touch. So as usual, we want to point our feet perfectly straight ahead, and we are rocking back and forth. In the back position, we are much like a swing, and in the front position, we're going to sit and lean back. Interesting part about doing this with clubs is you can keep that shoulder pack position very easily with the clubs. It changes a little bit with kettlebells, but it's pretty easy with the clubs. Drive your shoulder blades back and down, activate your lats, and then you're going to keep them on the entire time. Now let's do this exercise with two kettlebells. So we've demonstrated this before with a single kettlebell, which is how most people will do it because most people only have one kettlebell. But if you have two kettlebells, then you can double this up. Think of this like the double kettlebell outside swing or the double club outside swing. This is the next version of that. So think about this as an evolution up from the outside swing into the outside rocket. With the clubs, it's a little bit more difficult because your starting position is way, 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 way lower. So getting your shoulder pack is going to be a little bit more difficult because you can't set up at the top and start already. You're gonna have to let your shoulders come out of pack a little bit just to get that initial grab on the kettlebells. Tip them up, try and activate the lats as hard as you can, and as in all of our training, the clubs are always lighter, but they use that tractionary grip where the club pulls through your grip in that ice cream cone grip. So for the clubs, your grip will be dominated by the bottom two fingers of your hand. With the kettlebell, you'll be dominated by the top. First two fingers with your thumb overlocking over the top, and then the bottom part of your hand supports. We would like to do both versions of this if at all possible. We have our single kettlebell rocket, we have our double kettlebell rocket, and with double kettlebells, you have double the load. That is always the point. Clubs tend to be lighter in the 15 to 30 pound range. That's going to be pretty challenging for almost everybody, as long as you make the length of the set long enough. With double kettlebells, I was just using 2 16s. 2 16s is 32 kilograms, is 70 pounds. But think about jumping that up to double 32s and getting up to 140 pounds on that exercise. It is an absolute destroyer. And if you're gonna bump up the weight that much, you're gonna have to take down that time under tension down to the 30-second range or so. If you can push a 4-minute set at double 32s, it would be very incredible, but you're probably not gonna walk up and down stairs normally for a while. Take this exercise, plug it in, point those feet straight ahead. Do not let your feet turn out. Do not let your arches collapse. If you find your knees, your feet turning out and your knees collapsing in, you could over straighten your feet and turn them 5 degrees in to trick your knees into moving in the correct way and trick your arches into firing. All of these bounce and swing exercises like this, specifically these bounce exercises like rockets, will be absolutely very, very challenging for the arches of your feet if you push it for a long enough set period of time. So people with flat feet can always plug something like this into their program in order to strengthen their arches and make their feet much, much, much stronger. This has been Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica.